Oh, look at everybody with their good rollers. Love it. Well done, team. Nice. Have a little shake out through the body. Take a little moment to inhale, shrug your shoulders up. Exhale, soften and sigh them down with relief. And again, inhale, shrug your shoulders up. And exhale, soften. Fabulous. You're going to take a hold of your roller and hold on to either end. So they're usually 90 centimeters long, so they're not even a meter, guys. Like fingertip, thumb, palm hold on either end. Soft bend in the knees. Allow the bottom ribs, need extra hands here, to soften back towards the spine and down towards the pelvis as well. The roller acts as a little spacer for us as we allow the arms to float up and back down. Now, it doesn't really matter to me how far they go up or where they go in space. There's no Pilates police here. All you want to check in though is what are the sensations I'm feeling? More importantly, do I hold my breath? Is there a point where I go, oh, jeepers, that's interesting, and hold my breath? Can I keep my neck, my jaw, my head nice and soft and relaxed? Have I locked out through any part of my body? So you can have a little wriggle and things just to check in. And the roller just acts as a little spacer. I'm just going to step back a little bit. Fabulous. Keeping it above the head. Now, it could be slightly out in front of you. Mine is a little bit. If I take it a little bit further back, there's a little bit more organization that needs to happen in the rib cage, but I could make that happen. And we're just going to take a little yawn over to the side. So let your head stay in the middle of your arms for me. And come back through the center and then the other way. Now the legs are long, but they're not locked out. They're extended, but the knees have a small micro bend. If you want to take a bigger bend in the knees, you can. That's totally fine. Nice. And come back through the center and allow the roller to come down. Put your roller on the floor in front of you. So it's going to just be out in front of you, so you can have your fingertips holding on. Feet come into parallel, maybe shoulder width apart here. And we allow ourselves to send our fingers back behind us and send our fingertips away. Again, small micro bend. It's so easy to lock out the knees. And just to yawn open. You'll come into a nice, easy flat back, like you were doing a hip hinge to come down towards the floor, but their feet in a kind of parallel shoulder hip width apart. We are resting the hands onto the roller, but we're not necessarily hanging out in between the arms. So try and have that sense of keeping the bottom ribs drawing back towards the spine, the arms reaching away, and there's a sense of energy from fingertips to sitting bones. Slight bend in the knees might help as well. And when we soften, you're going to turn the pelvis, tucking it in underneath you like you normally would do in your cat-cow, to round the spine and stack yourself all the way up to standing. If any of you have been in the studio, it's like a standing push through. So your hands are resting on a bar with springs. So from here, we're going to send our sitting bones back. So we hip hinge. So you want to anterior tilt the pelvis a tiny bit to find space in the hip joints and send the sitting bones back behind you. As they go back behind you, your fingertips reach away. We understand this about length in the body, this nice animalistic movement where it finds the length in opposite direction. Not allowing the chest to drop through, but sending the shoulder blades a little bit more up towards the ears, that's fine. And then continue to bend in the knees even more. So the sitting bones will open lovely and wide. You'll come into this flat back position. Again, you're not hanging out in between. Find a sense of control. Press into the roller and reach the fingertips away. Sitting bones reach away as well. Have a lovely yawn here through the back line of the body. And then I want you to draw the belly button back towards the spine. Let the pubic bone come through and start to round the lower back a little bit. And then let the thoracic round. And as you unroll, press the weight into the feet and come all the way up to standing. Feel free to draw the roller towards you. So now you're bringing the roller towards you. Soft micro bend in the knees. Widen through the collarbones and send your chest, your breastbone forward and up like you're watching the sunrise. And then exhale, soften, open the sitting bones, start to take the roller away from you, yawning back out into this flat back. Bend your knees as much as you want to. Quite happy for you to enjoy this squat now. Find this lovely length that you can find because the sitting bones are open. Still have the bottom ribs back a little bit, keep the head in line with the rib cage. And again, we start to turn the pelvis, standing into the feet at the same time, rounding through the lower back a little bit, coming up through the rib cage, drawing the roller in towards us, continuing that pattern as you bring the roller towards you a little bit, widen through the collarbones. They're going to go out and down, shoulder blades go down the back of the spine as well. Just shine your breastbone forward. And then come back to center. Have a little shake out there. I know what you're thinking, why aren't we lying down on it? You can lie down on it now. So come and lie it down onto the floor and come and sit on the end for me. I know you're all thinking, why is she starting standing? What's wrong with her? I'm not quite sure. I may need more caffeine. Come and sit on the end of your roller. So it goes off either end, so it's easy to find nice axial elongation, lovely length through the back of the body. Reach the arms out in front of you and just take the pelvis for a little tilt. So it's going to go and slide at the backs of the legs. You're rocking back just a little bit. It is unstable. And then reach the fingertips forward. Your shoulders will come over the pelvis. Sitting bones go down either side of the roller. Not comfortable, but not uncomfortable. Just different, right? Inhale here. Exhale, soften, turn the pelvis. Sitting bones are sliding up the back of the legs. Keep the arms reaching away. A little bit of counterbalance here. You are on a rolling log, I know. And then bring your fingertips back over your knees, curling through it. Once the shoulders are over the hips, you lengthen. Fabulous. On the next one, as we turn the pelvis, soften the belly button back, the ribs back towards the spine. We allow the arms to come down onto the floor and gently lay ourselves back down onto the roller. Have a little walk through. Remember, you want the back of the head and the back of the sacrum on the roller. Okay. That's it. And so you might have to do a little caterpillar shuffle down to get onto it. So just take a little moment. Take your time to get into position. Adjust yourself. If you want to be differently on your mat, find that moment for you. And here we are in our supine position on the roller. Nice big deep breath. It takes a while for the body to register where it is. Then notice what it's lying on. And then try to soften around it. So the first reaction is, what on earth? Until you tell it consciously, it's okay. This is safe. So have a little wriggle if you want to, shimmy and shake anything out. And then take your awareness to what is making contact with the floor. Your feet, your elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the hands, the fingers even. That's what's making contact with the floor, the mat. And then notice what's making contact with the roller. Where can you feel the roller back behind you? Feel free to move a little bit if you want to. So back behind the pelvis, the sacrum, sort of in between the shoulder blades, we've got that thoracic spine area, back behind the breastbone. And then your head, maybe it feels quite central, maybe not. Feel free to have a little wriggle of the body and then let it soften. Feet are nice and gently placed on the floor. They're not gripping for dear life. Pelvis is lovely and soft and wide. And the rib cage is lovely and spongy. In fact, it's melting over the roller. Neck is long, head heavy. You take a little moment to then take our awareness to your pelvis and start to tilt your pelvis back and forth. Belly button and pubic bone, or your 12 and 6 of your pelvic floor. You can keep it quite small. You're up off the floor. You're just going for a gentle rock back and forth. Nice easy breath. Nothing else has to get involved, but you might notice the ribs will have a little rock. Maybe the head does as well. Can you allow the thigh bones to sink and soften and drop into the hip sockets a little bit? Keeping your focus on just the pelvis taking this little tilt. Maybe it becomes a little bit smaller, just to help a few more areas switch off a little bit, dial it down. And then allow the pelvis to become quiet, gently resting here in the roller. We take our focus to our arms, sweeping our fingertips along the floor, up towards the ceiling together, both hands together. We internally rotate the palms to face each other as if you're holding a big box. And we carve them, arc them, reach them back behind you. Thumbs reaching down towards the floor. They don't have to find the floor. They could go a little bit wider as well. And then we start to carve, arc, reach those arms all the way back through. Feel free to adjust and move as you need to. 4 more like this. Energy out of the fingertips, soft breastbones, spongy, melting ribs over the roller. Turn the palms to face each other and you send the thumbs back down behind you. It's just a different, sort of a bit more of an efficient line to the arm and the shoulder blade. And then carve it, arc it, reach it back the way it came. 3 more. Nice, easy, soft breath. Feet aren't getting involved. Pelvis is nice and relaxed. Head and jaw as well. Feel free to wriggle them though you are on a roller. And as the shoulder blade comes in underneath the armpit, can you make sure the breastbone and the ribs are soft? They're drawing down towards the roller as your arm reaches back up overhead. And then carve it, arc it, reach it all the way back through. 2 more to go. Energy out of the fingertips. Internally rotate the palms to face each other. Maybe take a big sigh. Softly send those thumbs back behind you, up overhead. Wriggle the jaw, adjust the body as you need to. Carve them, arc them, reach them all the way back through. Every time they're finding a bit more space, a little bit more organization. Here comes the last one. Palms face each other. Thumbs reach back behind you to the mat. Soften the breastbone. Let the bottom ribs hug the spine a little bit more. And then carve them, arc them, reach them all the way back down by your side. Let your elbows softly go onto your mat nice and wide, and the arms be stabilizers. Take your focus to your pelvis. Give it a little rock 12 and 6 and allow it to rest in neutral. As you stand into the left leg, float the right leg up to tabletop, a 90-90 position, and then bring that right leg back down. As it gently presses into the floor, allow the left leg to float up. And then bring it back down. Continue to move through your 90-90 legs, your knee floats. First 1 or 2 will have a little wiggle to them, that's totally fine. Once the body starts to pick up this really central postural pathway, a little bit closer to the spine, it will maybe even out a little bit. You can have a gentle press down at the floor with the hands into the floor, sorry. But just keep the ribs soft, your eye line up towards the ceiling. You might even want to softly close your eyes. There's nothing much to see. I'm not going to demo everything today. I'm going to try and take a peek at you. You're on pretty good shape at the moment. Nice. Well done. Nice easy breath, nothing needs to go on in the rest of the body too much. As one foot presses down, the other one can float up with ease. Gentle energy going down to allow energy to come up. Nice. Make this your last one to either side. Even yourself out. And then we take our focus back through to our arms, moving between our southern and northern hemisphere. So we're going to sweep our arms up towards the ceiling, turn the palms to face each other. Inhale to reach the fingertips a little bit further up towards the ceiling, then the shoulder blades pull apart back behind you. And exhale, soften and widen through your collarbones and allow your shoulder blades to come around and hug the roller. The arms stay long, but they're not locked out. They've got a bit of energy. But we're moving through the shoulder blades. So can you allow the shoulder blades to pull apart, led a little bit by the energy of the fingertips going up towards the ceiling. And then exhale and soften and widen through the collarbones and allow the shoulder blades to wrap around your roller, giving it a little hug, a little squeeze. That's it. Inhale to pick those shoulder blades up and away. Exhale to soften and squeeze the roller. Inhale, picking up. Check the rest of the body, lovely and soft. You can wriggle anything. You can wriggle your toes and your jaw. Exhale, soften, wide through the collarbones. Inhale, picking the shoulder blades away from the center of the body. Exhale, soften, allow the shoulder blades to wrap around and squeeze the roller. One more like this. Inhale up. And exhale, soften. Feel free to take the arms in a little bit of a toy soldier march. One goes up as the other one goes down past your hip. Just exploring these opposite reaches. Allowing the body to rest on the roller. Nice and heavy, nice and soft. And then we want both arms to come back by your side. Elbows might softly go out wide, and we take our focus back to the legs. Floating one leg up to tabletop in 90-90 position, and then the other. So here we are with both legs in 90-90. Be aware of kind of rocking into your lower back. Try to keep the pelvis quite neutral, though the gap behind your lower back will become a bit smaller. And then from here, reach the right toes long and away at a 45-degree angle, and then exhale, soft, and bring the knee back in, and then the left. Have that sense of extending the legs from the center of you all the way out, even back behind the diaphragm. And drawing it back in from there as well. So it's not just happening at the hip joint. There's an intention as you send the message from your mind all the way down through the body. That's it. A little bit of engagement of the psoas to get things started. Right back behind the diaphragm. Then into T12, L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, through the hip, all the way over into the top of the femoral head, and we lengthen. Lots of other stuff getting involved as well. But we're talking deep postural muscles here. That's it. Good. Sense of ease and length from the center of you out. One more to either side. Fabulous. If comfortable, stay here. And we're going for toe taps. So you're allowing the right toes to come down and tap the floor and back up. And then the left. Now again, we want a sense of awareness that you can keep the body quite soft and relaxed. The pelvis in a neutral, level, balanced position. Breathing as well. And those bottom ribs aren't flaring to help you get that extra range. So maybe the toes don't come all the way to the floor. And here you're definitely aware of your deep lower abdominals and moving from the center of you to lower these little drawbridge legs down towards the mat and back up, down towards the mat and back up. One more to either side. Nice easy breath. Fabulous. And then release one leg down and then the other. Feel free to give them a little shake, a little rock side to side, walking away, a little wriggle out, whatever they want to do. Take your focus back through to the northern hemisphere. We're going to bring the palms together in a sort of prayer position and bring the forearms together as well. So the elbows will touch. That's it. And we almost lift the elbows away from the chest as well. So we have the arms from elbow to fingertips, the whole of the forearm glued together just above your head. And we start to take those arms up above you a little bit. So the elbows will start to travel up towards your eye line. And then there'll be a natural point where you start to open the arms out into this big goalpost position. Then elbows out to either side, and then softly let the elbows come down by your side. And bring the hands back together. Fingertips touch, hands touch, forearms touch, elbows touch. Pick the shoulder blades away from the body and wrap them around. And start to send those forearms up overhead. Elbows come almost past the eye line, and there's a point where you want to yawn those elbows out lovely and wide. Draw them down by your side for a little scrub. And back through. That's it. So they're coming up and over. Nice and high. Pull them away from the body. Keep the elbows lovely and level and away from the body, almost parallel to the mat as much as you can. There's that sense of picking up. And then they will open. And again, they can just come in line with the body as they come down. They don't have to drop any further. Two more like this. Big scrubs of the shoulder blades, the scapula and the roller for me. Nice, easy breath. Good. Nice, guys. And then allow the arms to come by your side. We take our focus back to our feet as our initiator, but I want you to soften your breastbone as well. We're going to bridge. So you might want to bring your feet a little bit closer. We're not going to go very high. We're already up off the floor. But we soften into the breastbone, we stand into the feet, allowing the pelvis to roll a little bit, that tilt of the belly button back towards the spine, to peel the body up off the mat, into our bridge. Basic principles still are there where we want the hips a little bit higher than the breastbone and the ribs. Inhale here, and exhale, soften and lay yourself all the way back down. Your spine will try to find a roller. You don't need to worry about it. And again, we might inhale, prepare. Exhale, stand down into the feet, soften the breastbone and roll the spine up off the roller. Reach the knees over the toes, soften in between the shoulder blades, give your head and your jaw a little bit of a wriggle. Inhale here and exhale, soften and lay yourself all the way back down. Open the sitting bones, relax the glutes, get the pelvis onto the roller. 2 more like this, standing down into the feet, soften the breastbone, big sigh. Feeling yourself up off the roller, reaching the knees over the toes, energy into the feet, a bit of energy back behind those shoulder blades now. Inhale and exhale, lay yourself all the way down from the back of your throat to the sitting bones. Last time, stand down into the feet. Soften the breastbone and roll the pelvis and peel the body up off the mat, reaching the knees over the toes. Inhale here. And exhale to soften and lay yourself all the way back down. Float the right leg up to tabletop and bring the left arm up above your shoulder. Just taking you into a few of your walking diagonals. And then bring both hands and leg back down and let the opposite arm and leg float up. Same time, same pace, same quality. As they come down, can they touch the floor at the same time so they make contact with the floor as the other arm and leg float up, arriving at the same time, and then bringing opposite arm and leg back down, finding the floor, and letting the other arm and leg float up. Just taking yourself for a little walk on the roller, opposite arm and leg. Checking in what the pelvis wants to do, what the abdominals want to do. There's always that phrase, brace. And if, like me, you just want to bring a foot down and leave an arm lingering up there halfway through, so just double check that you are aware of both limbs at the same time. And not turning into the rambling mess again where I forget my arm. It's just on one side. Bring your awareness to anything that's coming up for you in your body in these exercises. Feel free to pause and address them, play around with them, explore them, or come back to them later in your own time. Both arms and legs come down. We have a last little moment here where we soften over the mat. Nothing is needed. Arms can go a little bit wider, knees might want to be a bit wider as well. And in your own time, you're going to slump, slither, and slide off your roller onto the floor and push your roller out of the way to lay yourself down on your back, on the mat, and to enjoy this moment of pause. It's really important that you take this moment so that your body can start to really assimilate everything that we've just done. Almost needs to digest and organize it and store it a little bit. Feel free to take a few big deep breaths here. Keep the knees bent, let the arms go wide, lengthen the legs, whatever you want to do, maybe explore. Notice how the body feels, what's making contact with the mat now. Nice and easy. Lovely. And then maybe let the legs glue together, the feet, the ankles, the knees, the inner seams to the sides, let your arms go a little bit wider on the floor and allow the legs to sink and soften over to the right. And your gaze to the left. And then softly sigh and let the body find the floor again and let the legs come to center and go the other way. So I'm not prescribing these twists. You can just have a little explore. Nice soft breath. Does it feel like, what can you feel as you roll through from side to side? What are you really aware of now? What part of your spine, your back, musculature and fascia and shoulder blades are making contact with the mat? Lovely. And then from here, you're going to need to curl around onto your side. No frills are needed. We're just going to do a little bit of diagonal work first. So I want you to fold your underarm underneath your head, if that's comfortable. So if this is comfortable for your head, neck, and shoulders, then please go for it. If not, you're going to need one or two pillow cushions underneath your head, just to keep your head in line with your spine a little bit more. But if you can fold the arm, then do. Your knee over knee, foot over foot. We've done this lots of times in different positions, but we've just come into some of our diagonal sling work as well, and really lovely internal obliques as well. So we've got gentle press down with this arm to allow this leg to float up. And then just kick the top leg away underneath you. You can flex in the foot. You want to feel like you're standing down underneath it. There's a sense of energy through that heel. This top hip can lengthen away. Hand comes onto the floor as a bit of support. Head is back in line with the body. You crease at the front of the hip and kick this foot through, and then maybe pointing the toes and lengthen the leg back underneath you. And through. So we know this is our sideline kick through. Nothing really moves in the torso. We're kind of really aware of drawing through our back line, creasing at the front of the hip, keeping the hip long, etc., etc. But what happens if we explore it a little bit more? So now as this leg goes back, let it go back a little bit further. Not so your lower back's really pinching, but just have that little stretch, that little reach that you all want to do. And then allow it to swing through, and maybe start to let your head have a little roll back into the hand. Good. And again. Sending the leg back behind you a little bit more. Your chest may roll into the mat. And then as you bring this leg through, you might want to roll and send your chest, your breastbone, your eye line up towards the ceiling. Fabulous. Let's take this for a deeper walk. As the leg goes back, can your top arm reach forward as well on that top diagonal? So the toes and the fingertips are reaching away from you. Your chest might roll a little bit more onto the floor. Totally fine. And now as this leg comes through, this arm is now going to sweep back behind you. Your head rolls into your hands, your chest goes up, and we go into a twist in the opposite way. Fabulous. And swing the arm and leg past each other. Now again, play around with them, reaching their end points at the same time, their final destinations in either direction. Finding that sense where they can find an equal swing in opposite directions. And enjoy that sense that the rib cage can roll, the pelvis can twist as well. All clicks and points alive, there may be a few. And as the arms back behind you, you can have palm up or palm down. So you can explore the internal and external rotation of the humeral bone in the socket of the arm as well. Interesting to note. And just relax with it again. There's no Pilates, please. I can't hear you. You could be going, woohoo, woohoo, maybe. As you're doing it, you could be breathing really heavily. You could be cursing me up and down. I can't hear you. So I'm going to just pretend you're saying woohoo, and enjoying this freedom to swing the arm and the leg away from each other. One more time. Really enjoy it. Really explore it. And then when you're ready, come and have a little lie onto your back. I hope you let the arms and the legs just drop by your side. Nice and relaxed, nice and wide. And just notice how that whole side feels that was swinging, enjoying it. Hopefully a little bit more rested, a little bit more grounded. Any sort of extra tension or nervous energy or fascial hold tends to let go when we allow the body to swing freely, to find its natural positions. And deep habitual patterns that it had when you were little, especially. So then from here, curl around into a little ball and press yourself up to seated. And just gently take yourself down onto the other side to do the opposite side. We'll just go straight into it. So often we tend to move through our sagittal plane a lot and I go straight into your thoracic. But what happens if we move through some of our diagonals to release our rib cage even more, to release what the body maybe needs in order to explore a bit more in a different plane of motion. So heavy head, folded arm, head back in line with the ribs with the pelvis to begin with. Just allow the body to be in a nice safe alignment. Gentle press down with the hand and send this top leg long and away from you. Give it a little kick out, open through the hip. There's a little bit of flexion in the foot, just so you can explore your sideline kick through. the leg stops in underneath you. So this we often know it as in some of our classical classes. Fabulous. And that's great for exploring the range and keeping the rest of the body quiet and really looking at sort of hip disassociation. And actually this is not how we move every day. So we want to know and acknowledge and find range, and then we want to explore the range in a bit more of our natural patterns. So just let the leg go back behind you a little bit more, and notice you might want to rotate your chest through the mat, and then allow the leg to sweep through and allow your chest to shine up towards the ceiling. Your head will roll back into the hand onto the floor. Feels really nice. Just be aware of the legs staying sort of level. So imagine you're kind of dusting off top of the coffee table for me with that inner thigh. That might want to pick up or down and go on a little ride, but let's try and keep it almost as if it's walking and sweeping in underneath you. And then on this next one, as the leg reaches back behind you, reach this top arm out on the opposite diagonal away from it and just explore this lovely stretch. This is what it feels like, this nice reach. And then as that leg kicks through, sweeps through, the hand cuts past over your pelvis, over your thigh, and back behind you for a little twist. And we sweep through. Your breathing is natural and spontaneous, not held at all, guys. So notice what the body wants to do breathing wise. Sometimes if you make it a bit more percussive, that you can hear it, you start to notice the rhythms it wants to work in. Lovely. Again, playing around with the hand as it goes back, either facing down or palm up. You can explore both. You can let it rotate and twist. No Pilates, please, as we said. Yawning through. Last one or two here, enjoy them. Have that sense of joy and release and playfulness. Quite important to bring that back, I think. Lovely. And then when you're ready, lying back onto your back, reaching both arms and legs to float and drop by your side. You might be on your mat, off your mat, you might be further to the sofa than you thought, that's fine. Just soften here, notice how the body feels. That lovely sense of release, all the fascia along those diagonals. Having a little wriggle out. Reach your fingertips up overhead, back behind you, arm arch style. So palms towards you, thumbs reaching back towards the floor. This gives the body always that sense of intention. Maybe let them go a little bit wider and reach through the right fingertips and the left toes. Having a little yawn. And then reach through the left toes and the right fingertips. If I just said that. Then the right toes and the left fingertips. That's what I meant. You knew what I meant, team. Diagonals. Reach through your diagonals. And then let it go. And then reach to the other diagonal. That's it. I'm going to stop saying body parts. And let it go. One more to either side. It's a lot safer. And let it go. And then your last one. Allow the arms to sweep back overhead in arm arch bend and soften in the knees. Nothing underneath. You just take a nice, clean, soft, gentle bridge. Feet go down, breastbone melts into the mat, pelvis tilts. Heel the spine all the way up. Notice how easy your bridge is now that we've freed up that diagonal sling across the back of you. Inhale, exhale, soften and lay yourself all the way back down. One more time like this, stand down into the feet, soften the breastbone, peel the pelvis all the way up. Reach the knees over the toes, soften your breastbone for me. Buoyant pelvis, big toes pressing down as well. Inhale here, and exhale, soften, melt through the back of the throat, the ribs, the mid, the lower back, pelvis. Do come back down. Throw yourself around into a little ball and press yourself gently up to seated. How are we all doing? Gosh, I love diagonal. And find your roller. It is a roller class. Let's get back to it. Place it across your mat, so perpendicular to the mat as we move into some of our thoracic extension work. So we're going to soften and tilt in the pelvis and lay ourselves down. Finding the roller just back behind the breastbone, a little bit lower at the edges of our shoulder blades. The bra strap area in. And interlace your hands back behind your head. Soften your chin to your chest, let your elbows wrap around in your peripheral vision, thumbs go down the nape of the neck. Now feet are gently on the floor, they're not bracing for dear life. You can give them a little wriggle, but you're aware of them and also the sole of the feet. So just be aware when you like to press your weight or hang out. And then from here, we've got some from the chin, we've slid the breastbone, we're curling up, we're taking a peek at our knees, we stay here. Our heavy head rests into our hands, we find a little bit of extra length in our neck. Maybe the chin tucks a little bit more because of that. And we start to inhale and yawn open back over the roller through our facet joints. So the front of you is opening. The head, the chin, the elbows, the shoulders are staying in alignment with each other. They don't change their position in relation to each other. We're opening from the center of the breastbone back. In both directions, so down towards the pelvis and up and back towards the back of the throat. Exhale, soften this small extension. It's just our first degree, it's our first step. And on your next exhalation, slide your breastbone, roll your ribs, and bring your head, neck, and shoulders along for the ride as you curl back up. So each time you're finding your edge, you all know this, guys, it's your practice when you're here in this extension work, is to yawn open through the front of you and notice how the body is responding, especially if you start to hold your breath at a certain point. Stay there. And inhale into the back of you, like you can almost expand into the roller, like you could press down into the roller with the back of you, with your ribs, with your intercostals just going wider and wider. And then on an exhalation, slide the breastbone, roll the ribs, and curl up, bring the head along with you for the ride. Taking it incrementally each time you inhale back over, find a new edge and use something to explore. Inhale and exhale here into the back of you. Expand that rib cage three-dimensionally, front and back, top to bottom, side to side. Exhale, soften, slide the breastbone, and roll the ribs, curl back up. One more time like this, we're inhaling back over the roller. You may be able to get a little bit further. Step one, step two, step three. Inhale here. Exhale, soften. Take another big deep breath. And then your next one, using the exhalation, slide the breastbone, roll the ribs, bring the heavy head with you. Your neck's getting longer every time as you curl back up. Wrap the elbows around the head to almost encase the head. That's it, envelop it. Shoulder blades pull apart. We stand into the feet, lift the hips up a little bit. And we start to just roll this inch back and forth a little bit on the roller. Going a little bit further if you feel comfortable. Most of you are fine to explore this. I think you all do it in a class or in a one-to-one. But it never goes any sort of further than where it was to begin with. So it's not going too far down. And again, it doesn't come up to the neck. So it'll find sort of the slight top of the shoulder blades, and then you'll start to roll that down. Feel free to rotate and twist as well if you want to, through the thoracic a little bit. It doesn't pick up everything. T-shirt and skin as you go. And you're just having a little explore, trying to soften your breast. Try and be inquisitive as opposed to aware and alert. That's it. Taking one or two more big deep breaths here. A few more explorations to bring myself back onto the mat here, where I'm going. That's it. And then allow your fingers to come down. Rollers back where it was to begin with. We inhale one more time over the roller, hopefully getting a tiny bit further again. All we want is that lovely increasing improvement bit by bit. 1%, maybe not 0.5%. We don't mind as long as we're moving in the right direction. Exhale, soften, slide the breastbone, roll the ribs, curl all the way up. And then have a little shoulder shrug, a little bottom wriggle as you send the roller back up behind you into the nape of the neck. Allowing your heavy head to rest here on the roller. If this is too much, grab your soft over ball. So Rosie, just check in how you feel about this. Yeah, that's fine, yeah. So just do this on your overball, as you know. If the roller is just a bit too intense, you know the body's going to continuously have a reaction that's, you know, not going to soften, then do grab the soft overball, which is that sort of deflated football that we use, a type thing. And here we are, resting back. So the head can drop back into whatever prop we're using. It could be a rolled towel if this is too intense as well, guys. And again, you need to soften the rest of the body, so you can give the shoulders a shimmy, you can let the knees knock in together, the pelvis wide, the feet go out wide. And then you want to start to make small micro movements with your nose and your head. Just exploring what we've got going on here. Base of the skull, top of the spine, cervical spine. What is our little pivot point we've got today? On that particular prop as well, so it will be different depending on what you're on. And then just like we would have in our pelvis, we take our head for a little bit of a nod. Back and forth. It's very small. A little tilt. Up and down. Relax your jaw. Ugh. Maybe we start to explore a little look right and left. And as our head begins to relax and get used to or give in to what it is that we're asking it to do, you might want to gently flutter your eyes closed. Really let your tongue and your jaw be heavy, your eyes melt back into the back of the head, the shoulders to soften and slide away from the ears, the toes to let go of their budgie grip on the floor, and even the space in between the eyebrows to just sigh and soften. So now as you're moving right and left, if you're on the roller, you can stay on one diagonal, so you'll load down slightly onto one occipital point and start to make tiny circles here. If you're on the soft ball, you'll come back through to center and make tiny circles full of that pivot point. So tiny circles with your nose, guys. But if you're on the roller, you're slightly loaded on one diagonal onto that occipital sort of knobbly bit. What we've got back there is what it feels like. And then gently, softly on the roller, guys, bring your head back through the center and face the other direction and start to circle and pivot. If you're on the soft overball, take your small circles in the opposite direction. And then just check in if you decided to hold your breath all the way through that or lift your chest to help you get into that diagonal. So melt the rest of you back into the floor. Big sighs. I can't hear any of the noises. Sometimes a real big yawn out. Vocalizing it does help. Any of that. Just really letting go. And then when you're ready to come back through the center, everybody feel free to make any small micro movements again. Up, down, left, right, zigzag. Figures of 8, a little bit trickier on the roller. And then when you're ready, you're going to take the soft overball out from underneath you, or you're going to push the roller out above you to lay your head back down onto the floor. Adjust your feet back into parallel if they were apart. Knees separate, go up towards the ceiling, arms by your side. And again, give the body a moment's pause to digest. Connecting the head into this full, lovely length of the spine. Nice. And then gently circling and coming around up to a seated position. Have a little shake off there. Bring your feet out wide in front of you. And your hands come back behind you. That's it. And we gently let the legs windscreen wiper side to side. Nice. Oh, my roller. And then you can come into a cross-leg position, just checking in. My hips are all sorts of fun at the moment. And then the other way. Not good fun either. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but too much hip work sometimes. Nice. And then we're actually going to come into a Z sit. So I'd like you to bring your right leg in front of you and your left leg back behind you into a Z sit. Quite wide, quite relaxed. They could be further away from you than you think. Right shin is in front, left leg's back behind you, and have your roller out to the right of you guys. Fabulous. So place your right hand onto the roller. It's directly to the side of you or slightly in front. So be careful, you don't have to go to the back of the roller. Keep your shoulder nice and happy and in line with you. And if you notice, if you send the roller away, go that way and come back through. Now there's going to have to be a little bit of loading and pressing down here, but just be aware of what the shoulder then does. So I don't want it shrugging forward. So allow the shoulder to be loving, soft and wide. Shoulder blade to draw down the back of you as you're doing this. And I would turn your palm to face the front and be on the lateral edge, pink edge all the way through. Watches might get in the way, but hopefully not too much. So the sense of energy as you press down with that lateral edge, the outside edge of your hand, your fingertips, your knuckles, to activate the underside. So you don't actually collapse, you often get a little bit taller. Lovely. Sweep your left arm up towards the ceiling, palm faces towards the right as well. The left fingertips reach up, left sitting bone sinks down, and you start to yawn over a little bit. As you do, you're pressing out onto the roller with that right arm and sending the roller away from you, or it feels like that. It comes a little bit towards you, or you go towards it. To roll on that lateral edge. There's a lot of work that needs to go on here in stabilizing, organizing the body. You're not sinking down into it. So find width in the collarbone, press into the lateral edge. You have to activate the underside of you and yawn open through the top side. And then you draw the roller in to help you come back up through. It's a bit like side plank work. The organization of the head, neck, and shoulders is there, and there's an engagement to go down, to find length and space, and to send the roller away, to find our side bend, and to come back through. Good, let's go one more time like this. And come back through. It's a lot more work than what we're normally used to, but we're just exploring it. Turn your chest around a little bit. So move. You can even open up this hip flexor a little bit. So yawn open through this hip. Rotate the thoracic and bring both hands onto the roller. And now from here, slightly soften the chin to your chest and start to roll the roller away. Again, you may want to turn onto the lateral edge, pinky edge, press down, and send yourself yawning out over that right thigh, that right knee. And then push down into the roller and start to draw yourself back through the center. Belly button draws back towards the spine a little bit. You push into the roller to bring it back through. And you keep looking out over to the right and shine your chest through. It's like Cleopatra. Softening as you press the roller away from you. The sitting bones will come down into the floor a little bit as you round the spine into this weird twisted cat position, I'm not going to lie. That's it. And now draw, initiate by drawing the roller in towards you, pushing down onto the roller to bring it through. One more time like this, press the roller away, bottom ribs hug back towards the spine, belly button draws back a little bit as well. As a response by sending the fingertips away, out over your mat, and then coming back through. Very nice. Bring your roller up and over to the other side. Switch your Z sit and have a little wriggle out. Ooh, interesting Z sits as always. They've all got their own little story to tell. Have a little play around with this one. Little pinky edge of the left hand comes down and we're like, yep, okay, we've got that. That's it, kind of being nice and free. What happens if we engage and press down a little bit to find length? So this whole side, like we close chin now, activates, it's going to move. Sweep the right arm up so it loses that closed chin effect. So it starts like that. And then we start to press down and reach away onto that left lateral edge to yawn open the right side of it. And then softly come back through. There's a soft micro bend in the elbow which will support it, so it's not locked out. And again, the joint, the humeral, glenoid humeral joint is not forward. So press it back, lengthen it away. Shoulder blade comes in underneath you. Your serratus has to really kick in here. So you're drawing the shoulder blade down the back of the body at the same time and sending the fingertips out and over to the left. Good, guys. And come back through. Organization. You don't have to go far, you're just exploring. Where you can still find that ease where the head can move, the shoulders could shrug if we needed them to, and then come back through. In order to turn the body, yawn open from the hip first, pelvis picks up, ribs turn, shoulders turn, both hands come onto your roller. You can bring it a little bit closer to you, establish it where you need it to be. Little pinky edges come down, to add a little bit of a focus point, and we start to soften the chin to the chest. We're rolling the roller away from us, but our arms roll up the roller to come over the left leg. And then draw the roller in towards you. Your breastbone comes through the shoulders. Shine your chest out. And again, exhale, soften, hug the bottom ribs back towards the spine. Sending the roller away. And then draw the roller back in. Well done. One more time like this. Soften. Explore. Be curious. Do what you want. Do what you can. The Pilates police. What does it feel like? And then pressing down into the roller to draw it in, just like we do when we're lying on our front when we do our swan. You don't need to do that extent. Good. Have a little shake off there and bring yourself into all fours. Keep the roller near. As always, keep the roller handy. Hands come directly underneath the shoulders, knees come directly underneath the hips. Take a little moment here, widening through the fingertips. Pressing into the fingertips, soft bend in the elbows, turn the eyes, the elbows round to reach over the fingertips as well. And press the floor away into your cat stretch. Those active shoulder blades in that last exercise, and open the sitting bones to allow your spine to undulate through. Exhale, a little bit of energy, a bit more energy down into the floor to allow the pelvis to turn, the spine to soften and round. You'll notice the space in between the front of the shoulder blades, trying to figure out, oh, I think I've worked, and I need to yawn, open a little bit more, and then open the sitting bones, sending those sitting bones through. Fabulous. Because we all need it, because if like me, you were sat in front of your computer today for a few hours, we're going to bring our roller in underneath us, come down onto our elbows, and lay our lovely soft quads, is what I was trying to say, onto the roller. Remember, you're not hanging out. The belly button doesn't drop down, and we don't overarch the lower back. Hug the bottom ribs back. Use your elbows, press them down into the floor. You're effectively in a little bit of a forearm plank. Then start to send yourself backwards and forwards on the thighs, the soft flesh of the front of the quads forming. Not getting too close to the knees, but you can come a little bit higher to the hips if you want to. And you can also rotate and twist, tilting your pelvis side to side, or staying central, depending on injuries in the body. So just give the front of the quads a little bit of love if that's all that we've got. That isn't in too much of a danger or painful joint area. But if you can have a little bit of rotation, then do. You'll pick up slight edges of the IT bands and that connective tissue and fascia, which is just yummy. It slightly does help, guys, to call it these lovely positive words. I'm not going to lie to you. Imagine it as yummy and productive and necessary and supportive, and you love your quads, you love your thighs. They're working so hard for you. In fact, they're working a little bit too hard for you. You're just going to give them a little bit of sweet relief. They're going to feel so good after this. Melting over the roller. Nice. And then when you're ready, allow your knees to soften down onto the mat. Bring your hands back in underneath you and just push back into a child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide. You'll notice that hopefully, because you've lengthened and sort of hydrated the fascia at the front of the quads, you can get your sitting bones a little bit closer to your heels. We often think the tightness is here. Sometimes it's in our front line. And that can allow us to find slack in our back line. Sometimes when in doubt, just don't poke the bear. Go to the rest of the body and explore what it's got to give you. Hands can be underneath you. Come up high, kneeling a little moment, have a little shake off there. So we're just going to play around with a pike position, which requires the roller to be back behind you a little bit. Effectively starting a little bit underneath the front of the ankles. And again, this is just an exploration. It's a little bit of fun. We always get these last 2 minutes and we're like, dude, what can we explore? What could we challenge the body to do? So we're going to come into our quadruped first. Already this finds the body's going, my feet aren't down, I don't know how to flex or point them. In fact, I'm just going to do one and then the other because they won't understand, they'll have a preference. And then we want to see if we can actually walk ourselves out a little bit and send the legs away from us and come into a plank. Now again, there's a lot of stuff going on, especially if you've got flippy leggings on like me, I've just noticed. Where you want to let your hips drop, and the legs are a little bit higher, soften the elbows a little bit, press the floor away, yawn open through the hips, hug the bottom ribs back, bend the knees back in, sit back onto your heels. I know there's a lot going on. I'm regretting these leggings, but it's all sorts of problems. So then the next thing we want to do is definitely above the ankle, just on the end of the shin. If you want to explore this, we're going to bring ourselves forward and come into a plank position. And as we go to pike, it's like a handstand, it's like a downward dog. Our sitting bones go high, our head goes down in between our shoulders, and the roller will come towards you. And you will roll it away, spreading these leggings, and towards you. Whoop. And away, and you can come in and out of it. You can shake off. Well done, good work. I'm going to see if I can just get a little bit of skin and go one more time. So anything that's kind of, you think, oh, I'm slipping, you just want to try one. It's that real sense that your head is in between your hands, you're pressing down, and you're in your pike, and you're literally on your tippy toes, because the front of your feet are resting on the roller as well. And it is tricky. It is different. And it feels a little bit weird. But that's okay. Replank one more time, or you can just hold in plank. That's totally fine. That's enough of the challenge. When you're ready, the head goes down, you press into the fingertips, you send your sitting bones up. That's a real sense of exhalation to come through. Just start a little bit closer towards me. That's it. Send the legs away. Soften the knees, press back into child's pose. Get rid of the roller if you want to. Shake out through the wrist. Amazing how much extra they take on when we're on something unstable. They become our go-to. Fabulous. Uncurl the body, tuck the toes, move the hands back towards the feet. Sending the heels down into the floor, the head forward at the same time. Lengthen the legs a little bit and let the arms hang from the body. Give those hands a shake. And allow the arms to circle in towards each other. They'll pendulum swings, they'll find their own momentum, let them hang away. And then in the opposite direction. And continue to just let them hang and do their own thing as you turn the pelvis and allow the lower back to cascade into place. Then the ribs, then the shoulders, the arms will just kind of dissipate out. Then the neck, then the head. Then the eye line. Interlace your fingers, take them for a little wriggle. That's it. Just in case. And the wrist. Opposite direction, because there is an opposite. Good. Have a little shake out there. Well done. Notice there's a little bit of energy when you try something new. It gets a little bit playful, just a little bit exciting. Your response and your energy levels change. So maybe add a bit more variety to the day now, team. A little bit of something new can really help. Inhale, shrug your shoulders down. Exhale, soften and let it all drop down.